wanted to make a video about some wax pots. So recently I went to a friend's house and we waxed our eyebrows, and I realized that a wax pot is actually very convenient to have. Before that, I would only, I've done wax strips, I've gone and I've had my eyebrows waxed and I've had them threaded. But I've never really done a ton on my own. So I attempted with the microwavable wax, and I started to notice that it's just a little bit cumbersome. I have children and it was kind of cumbersome to take it to the microwave, bring it back. It would harden up, and then I noticed it started to harden up even after I microwaved it. So I don't know if it goes bad or what. But when I went to my friend's house and we used her wax pots, it was so quick and so easy. So I went on the search to find my own wax pot, and she had hers. She's had hers for 10 years, and her mom bought it for her, so she couldn't remember what it was. So I went on Amazon, I started to look, and I went to Sally's because I discovered quickly that they also have them at Sally's. And on Amazon, well, there were two different kinds that I came to, and so I thought it would be convenient since I haven't seen many reviews or tutorials. This is not a tutorial, but since I haven't seen many reviews about wax pots, I thought it would be nice to put one out there on YouTube in hopes that it will benefit someone. So here we go. So there are essentially two wax pots that I chose from and that I'm going to be comparing today. And one is the brand Gigi and one is the brand Suddenly Smooth. So here we go. They're essentially the same. Now these wax pots, so this one is the Gigi one. Okay, and this one is Suddenly Smooth. They are essentially the same because I'm going to kind of answer the questions that I started to ask as I was searching it. They're pretty much essentially the same. They both heat up a 14-ounce jar of wax, and they both have a lid, and they both have a lid right here. They both have a metal interior. The Gigi one, all you do is it has an off switch. You go low, medium, and high. Okay, and then so when you put the wax in, you'll put it on high, let it heat up, and then you can put it down to low if you want to. You do the same thing pretty much with the Suddenly Smooth one, except it goes from 1 all the way to 10, but it has an on-off switch. The Gigi one does not. It doesn't have a separate switch. It's just part of this part right here. So on both of them, you put the wax in and you put it on the highest setting, let it sit, and a pot of wax depends. So the 14-ounce one is what kind of fits, and it will take, they say, roughly about 30 minutes. I have a big popsicle stick that I'll kind of stir it in to kind of make sure it's all heating up properly. So it takes about 30 minutes. The more you use it, when I used my friend's, she had about this much and it took minutes to heat up. So as you use your wax, it will of course heat up faster because there's less. So Suddenly Smooth does have an on-off switch, and you can turn it all the way to high. The Gigi one just has the off switch here, and you go low, medium to high. So that's kind of the same. They essentially have the same cord. This has a 3-pronged cord, and this one actually has a 2-pronged cord, which probably most people wouldn't think makes a difference, but we live in a pretty old home and a lot of the plugs don't have the 3-pronged plugs in it. So if that is your case, then that could actually very easily answer your question about which one would be better for you. And also right here this has a lid. I actually like the lid better on the Suddenly Smooth because I feel like it's more compact and it's not gonna fall off. And the lid on the Gigi one is pretty, but it can easily fall off. So depending on your situation, I have children, I kind of like the one of the more secure one. That could be a problem. And in regards to wax pots that go in there, there's different sizes. Again, I didn't realize that. Like I said, they fit the 14-ounce one. I actually first bought an 8-ounce one because I was told it would work, and this is how it fits. So it does fit in. It doesn't hit the sides super well. I think it would still heat it up, but the problem is when a wax pot's really full, it could drip on the sides. So I'm not a big fan of something smaller, and I like this one that is the 14-ounce one because it goes right here, and as I take off the lid, the pot is still a little bit raised, so I can rub the popsicle stick off on the side versus it dripping on here. And then this actually came with the Gigi one, and it's an 18-ounce one. It fits nicely inside. It's bigger. You just won't be able to put on the lid on top, so you'll want to keep this lid on. So whatever works best for you. They also come with these collars, and you can just fit it around the actual wax pot. So it'll look kind of like this, and you put it in like that, and it's nice because it secures it. Both brands have them. You can use them interchangeably. So this can go in the Suddenly Smooth wax pot, the Gigi brand, just as perfect. And Suddenly Smooth wax can go into the Gigi brand perfectly. So just to recap, they are both pretty much identical. They take about 30 minutes to heat up a full pot of wax, and you want to put them both on high, and then you can lower it. And I think that's primarily for salons, so if you're just doing at home thing, I don't actually lower it because I don't need to. I'm not spending all day with it on. This one I think is prettier. This one I think is a little bit more conducive for storing because I'm not keeping it out. Again, I think this is much nicer for salons because they keep it out. And the last thing is they both, like, you can use wax pots from any brands, but they both keep 14 ounces in here. And you know, if you want to put a wax pot in here and then put this lid on, it kind of works okay in here because personally, if I'm just using it at home use, I wouldn't be changing this out all the time. So it kind of works nicely, I guess. I would always suggest keeping the lid to the wax pot because that is going to get messy very quickly. So you could do that. This is how it fits on this one. It's fine. This isn't too secure anyway, so I don't think it matters. It makes much of a difference. I don't think it does. And here it is in the Suddenly Smooth one. You put it in, and again, it kind of just lays on top. It actually closes perfectly on this one. So that is actually nice, what I think. So I feel like this one's a little bit more convenient for my lifestyle. I have children, they're running around. The last thing I want is a kid to dump wax all over the floor or on themselves, obviously. So this one's a little bit more convenient for me. Whereas this one, I just think is a little bit prettier, but I wouldn't keep it out on my countertop because again, I have kids. I'd be keeping it, I'd store it away. So that is it. If you have any questions, leave it down below and I will go ahead and respond to them. So those are the two wax pots that I discovered. I know that there's a few other brands, but these were kind of the most popular. Again, on Amazon, saw tons of reviews about this one, the Gigi. And on Sally's, they had more reviews on this one, but there's like lots of reviews on Amazon about this. My friend has had this one for like a decade, so I know it works really well, and I'm pretty confident that this one works just as well in terms of the long run. And you can get both of them from Amazon. I actually went to Sally's to get it, and the price is about the same, and it was just a little bit more convenient to get it from Sally's. So that is it. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them down below and I would love to answer them. And thank you so much for watching. Bye. I feel like they're exactly comparable. My friend has this one. She's had it for a decade, so I know it works. Dang it. And I don't know how to finish YouTube tutorial reviews.